All right, pal. It's opposite day. It's a new year. I'm doing the intro now, pal. So we're gonna talk about The Rock. Dwayne The Rock Johnson made his triumphant return to WWE to presumably have a match with Roman Reigns. To have a match for the first time in over a decade, pal. We're not counting the Eric Rowan match that happened after he torched some flames in Dallas in the middle of a 7.5 hour show. We're not gonna talk about that. We are here though to talk about Dwayne The Rock Johnson, pal, as I said. So now I'll ask you this, Jimmy. You know, you grew up in the CM Punk era. You're a CM
Hmm.
Punk stan, true and true. CM Punk is your favorite wrestler. He just
Yep.
jumped to the number 19 in your rankings. Magically, miraculously, pal. After the NDA of Jericho, CM Punk has skyrocketed in the rankings now to a top 20
Hmm.
wrestler of all time.
Yep.
So you grew up watching that guy, idolizing Philip Jack Brooks. Now you witnessed The Rock return and ruin CM Punk's prime firsthand.
Hmm.
Now we're here with kids like yourself that are now Cody fans. You're
Yeah.
here to witness this firsthand or secondhand. I don't know if that's the right word, but you're here to witness it again for the second time.
Hmm.
The Rock
Yeah.
is coming back to ruin Cody Rhodes' prime and steal a WrestleMania main event. How do you feel about that?
Can I just say that's just not what's happening? And you've told me about some discourse regarding this match, which apparently, as you'll get to shortly, the IWC wrestling people, it's exploding. OMG, Rock Roman's happening at WrestleMania. It's over for Cody, which I find comical, Kevin. It's like people are ignoring the stories that have been coming out for weeks that the Perth government, the Australian Tourism Board, want The Rock. That they have a huge basket of cash and they want The Rock. WWE have a show in front of 70,000 people in about, what's this, 7 weeks, which I'll be there for, Kevin, which
Wow.
they're trying to sell out.
Lucky
They've
you.
sold like 40 something thousand tickets, I think. 50. They're trying to get an extra 20, 30,000 tickets to sell out this big stadium in Australia. If you look at pictures of Optus Stadium, that's a stadium fitting for Rock versus Roman Reigns. This isn't a bingo hole in bloody Jacksonville. Okay, this is a huge state-of-the-art stadium that costs hundreds of millions to make. All right. So Kevin, I saw what The Rock did and how he mentioned, where am I going to eat in San Diego? Am I going to eat at the bar? Am I going to eat? It was like the Daniel Bryan promos. Will I eat over here, over there? I'm eat at the head of the table. Ah! So everyone's losing their mind, pal. With regards to your question, I think that's a scandalous way of asking it. That's a scandalous question. WWE, Triple H, this is. I don't know about anyone else in the company, but Triple H and Nick Khan learned from the past, okay? They saw what happened 10 years ago and the disaster that caused with, CM Punk being the full-time talent deserving the WrestleMania main event. That caused him to leave, basically. That was like the main factor. And then how the main event sucked. The WrestleMania 29 main event was garbage. The Rock and Cena. Rock tore his quad 12 minutes in. He tells stories about this. And he was calling an audible to Kyoto, I think it was, being like, oh, I'm stuffed here. I'll work the match. And then the match ended up being bad. There was no need for that to main event WrestleMania 29. Then Punk and The Undertaker had a match where the storyline, Kevin, was CM Punk pouring Paul Bearer's ashes on the Raw Titantron. It's like, what is this? Kevin, this to me is so obvious. They can do Rock and Roman in the Elimination Chamber. Rock beats Roman. Then at WrestleMania, Cody beats Roman. That way, Roman's done everything in his run. Cody finishes the story. It seems like common sense, Kevin, but apparently that isn't the case on Twitter or discourse generally. Apparently, you're telling me people think it's just Cody's done. Ha, it's over for Cody. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, basically that's what I've been seeing. Twitter is a literal war zone right now. I've seen so many memes. Like one meme in particular, I'll mention this one is the pipe bomb with Punk, where the clip where he's like, "Oh, it makes me sick that Dwayne is main eventing WrestleMania 28 and I'm not." And people are like Cody to The Rock, Cody to Triple H, Cody in Nick Khan's office, like with this meme. And then there's one from Being the Elite where Cody's like hugging some jobber, I can't remember his name, some guy, whatever. So he's hugging some jobber from Ring of Honor, and he's like, "I hope you fucking die, bro." And then they're like, "Oh, Cody when he sees The Rock backstage at Raw." Like people are freaking out, losing their mind. Some people are pointing out legitimate facts. So like, hey, The Rock was gassed after doing a spine buster and a people's
I
elbow.
know.
Fair
Yeah.
point. And then they're like, oh, The Rock's pec is gonna tear 2 seconds into the match. Okay, fair point. You know, The Rock hasn't wrestled, but it's like, who cares? You know, The Rock hasn't wrestled in 10+ years. It's if it doesn't happen at WrestleMania, I don't really have a problem with it. Essentially, if it happens at Elimination Chamber, it's an exhibition, and then Roman gets to like kill The Rock, and then he looks even stronger going into the match with Cody. But like in kayfabe, right? Roman beating The Rock, who's 51 years old, who doesn't wrestle ever, who hasn't wrestled a proper match in 11 years. What does that really do for Roman, the character, in kayfabe?
Nothing.
Like, it's just
Nothing.
a spectacle at that point. Like, it's McGregor versus Mayweather at this point. It doesn't mean anything. You know, if they do it in Perth at Elimination Chamber, like, it's probably a match that we'll look back on, and you'll be there live, lucky for you. It's probably a match that we'll look back on, it's like, it happened. Like, did it need to happen? Probably not. To me, if they don't do it at WrestleMania, it loses the mystique and the aura of it. But it's also, at the same hand, Cody Rhodes is very deserving of winning the title. But these people, I want to say this and then I'll let you go. These people that are like crying about Cody not winning the title are super entitled. Like, it's such an entitled feeling. Like, oh, Cody has to win because he's my favorite. Like, okay, and he's your favorite, whatever. Like, what's stopping The Rock from coming back and winning the title, pal? Like, you know. So I think that's kind of silly. That whole discourse of like Cody fans crying. Like, it is what it is. Look at Punk. Punk's career turned out just fine, and The Rock came back and main evented over him twice. So, Cody would be just fine. He was the wrestler of the year in 2023. He's a shoo-in for a top 5 finish this year, barring injury. So, I think Cody would be fine. Even if they do Rock and Roman at WrestleMania, I don't think either way it matters that much.
Well, Kevin, the truth of the matter is this. I love that you mentioned, like The Rock was literally out of breath after a spine buster and a few punches. He literally was like gasping for air during his promo. He was like, and then he had to deliver his promo where he was like, oh, over here, over there, at the head of the table. So there was that. The fact of the matter is this: when Roman Reigns in his prime is facing off against, yes, he's 51, but The Rock. When Roman and The Rock are staring at each other in a stadium in front of 70,000 people. It's not going to matter that it's not at WrestleMania. That's not the title of the event. It's still going to be like, oh my God, this is happening. That's what's going to be like in the stadium. I'm just going to be like, oh my God, this is happening in front of me. Like, this is nuts. Shout out anyone else who's going to the Elimination Chamber. That's going to be sick.
Well, I'll say this, interject 2 seconds. It's giving me vibes of like Undertaker Goldberg in Saudi Arabia. Like, it could go that way. You know, Triple H and Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker and Kane. Like, this international show, Rock's being there, clearly there for a payday. He probably hasn't been training in the ring. Like, I don't know. It could get ugly, pal. Go ahead.
Yeah, and the thing I love about this, people, as you're alluding to with Twitter and that, the discourse that, okay, it's over for Cody, it's done. Triple H has a functioning brain. You know, he's looking at this going, okay, if we have The Rock and Roman main event, cool. Once again, that looks great on paper. What's that like in real life? That's a 10-minute match. The Rock, as you say, probably tears his quad again, is out of breath, can't really do more than 3 moves. Roman's clearly going to win. Then what? What's Cody going to do? How are you going to get to The Rock versus Roman Reigns? Is The Rock going to win the Royal Rumble match? Power Brock Lesnar 2022 style, where he comes in number 30, throws Randy Orton out in St. Louis and wins in front of you, pal? Is that how you're going to do it? Or is The Rock going to win a do or die 45-minute war in the Elimination Chamber? Is The Rock going to be doing kip-ups 40 minutes in, rock bottoming Cody Rhodes in front of me in Perth? Like, how is they going to get to that anyway? And then it's going to be like a 10-minute match where The Rock is gasping for air in headlocks as he legitimately can't breathe. And then he'll get to the match, he'll try to raise Roman's arm and be like, he won't be able to like lift his arm up because he's that exhausted. That is what it would be at WrestleMania. These idiots think they're going to do that at WrestleMania. They're clearly doing it as a spectacle to get Perth to sell out at Elimination Chamber. Then they're doing WrestleMania, where you have your prime face star against your prime heel star for 25 minutes, and the prime face star goes over, which because he was robbed last year. This seems like 1 + 1 = 2 sort of stuff. But wrestling Twitter are doing mental gymnastics.
Yes.
Like these idiots, these clowns. Kevin, oh my God, see? This is why Cody just, when he left AEW, karma, he's not going to main event. I was like, what? Kevin, I'm so happy I'm not actually on there. You're just telling me this. I can't believe what I'm hearing. This is pulsating.
Serious question. This just popped in my head as you said what you just said. Did Cody ever main event an AEW pay-per-view? I don't think he did. I think he
No,
just
he did
wrestled
not.
like mid card matches.
Double or Nothing, the first one, him
No,
and Dustin Rhodes didn't main event,
no,
did
they
they? No.
didn't. No. Yeah, he
And
didn't.
then
He did.
his match, his
He
one time
main
wrestling.
evented against Jericho for the championship at
No,
Full Gear.
no, he didn't.
They
No,
didn't
he
main
didn't. That was
event.
Moxley and
Oh,
Omega.
Moxley and Omega main evented. Right. Wow.
Not officially because it was lights out.
Right.
That
Right.
main evented.
Wow.
Like, and Cody, he never main evented an AEW show. Like,
Wow. That's crazy. Either way,
yeah.
Cody's still gonna be doing okay. Like, this is not the Vince McMahon era where hypothetically, if they did Roman and Rock at WrestleMania, where everyone else is gonna be forgotten. Like, people are posting like pictures of like Cody and QT Marshall shaking hands, like, oh, this is what Cody's gonna be doing at WrestleMania. He's gonna be hosting the show,
Oh my
pal.
God,
He's gonna be
what?
like the Miz. Like, even if they did Cody and Roman, like Roman and Rock at WrestleMania, Cody's still gonna get a big match, whoever that match may be against. He's still gonna get a big marquee match, whether it's with Randy Orton over their father's legacy, like whatever the case may be. Cody's still gonna get a big match. But yeah, it's kind of funny about this. And then on top of that, I literally yesterday you dropped a clip of me talking about The Rock, and I'm like, oh, I'll believe it when I see it, pal. I don't think The Rock's gonna come back. And then sure enough, literally the same day, the Rock's walking down the ramp, pal.
The timing was so bad. If you listen to that podcast when it dropped at like 3, 4, 5 p.m. Over in the States, if you listen to that, then fell asleep. You had a good night's sleep for like 6, 7, 8 hours. You woke up and The Rock's there announcing it. Like literally, if you watched it then fell asleep and woke up, The Rock was back and pretty much announcing he's going to have a match against Roman. Or why else would he say that? Like it's just I found that Kevin, the timing of that. Ridiculous. As far as like a turnaround of a questionable take from you saying that to when it actually happened and you were proven wrong, that was about 7 hours. Unbelievable. That's probably the worst like age take ever on our show. Outside of ones that get said right away and it's like WTF, like some of the things I've said. That one was literally within 7 hours. Nick Khan and Paul Levesque were like, ha ha, look at this idiot. Rock, get out there. Wrestling Uncovered is going to make another video that we're going to strike down. Powerful.
Oh, pal, can we spend like 2 minutes before we close this? Can we talk about the actual content that we saw from The Rock last night on Raw?
I love that word. Yes.
I thought it was I'm trying to be super negative, but I was not blown away by the content we got from Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Hold up, you're trying to be super negative. What were your real honest thoughts?
I'm not trying to be super negative. I'm not trying to be. I thought it was kind of lame, like honestly. Like I have to watch the segment again, but first watch, I was like bro, he's really in the ring insulting Jinder Mahal for like 17 minutes. Like, are you kidding me, bro? Like, there's nothing else you could do with The Rock, you know? And then at the end, he's just like, I want to have lunch at the head of the table. The Rock is hungry. I'm like, okay. Like you said it perfectly. A Daniel Bryan 2018-19 promo, or 2021 promo. Literally, he's like, I'll wrestle you in the back, Roman. I'll wrestle you out here in the third row. Not the best that we've seen from The Rock, but it is The Rock, so who cares? Who gives a shit? It's The Rock. Like, it's awesome. Great to see him back. He's great. It's just his presence, pal. He's a Mount Rushmore guy, effectively, if he single-handedly kills Cody Rhodes' prime. And he managed to kill CM Punk's prime and Cody's prime. If he does that, he's a Mount Rushmore guy, pal. I mean, who...
No, if he does that, he's taken out of the top 10. If he does that, that's scummy.
Hold on.
Scummy behavior.
Hold on. Hulk Hogan, who you named the greatest wrestler of all time. He's famous for political chess moves, refusing to do jobs. He never killed...
Whose prime did he kill?
Exactly. He never killed two people's primes. The Rock is doing this and is maintaining a squeaky clean reputation. The Rock could kill two top stars primes within 10 years of each other, and nobody ever talks about it. But Hulk Hogan gets this bad rep. Everybody's like, oh, The Rock's a great guy. Dwayne's a great guy. Like, that's amazing. He's able to do all this and still maintain a great reputation. That's Mount Rushmore material, pal.
I can't believe I've just heard, but just one quick thing on the content of the segment. I think The Rock is the only person in the world who could get an entertaining 21-minute segment out of Jinder Mahal.
Yeah.
You put God himself in the ring of Jinder Mahal for 21 minutes. I don't think it's that entertaining. Like, Kevin, Jinder Mahal's doing that, a 5-minute promo. I found it hilarious. It's like, the WWE champion who's about to come out is... And everyone's got their phones out. Everyone's like,
It's The Rock.
Like
It's
this.
The Rock. It's The Rock. It's The Rock.
Yep, I'm ready. I'm ready. It's Brock Lesnar. It's The Rock. Pal, it's Big E Langston. I'm ready, pal. It's Kofi Kingston. And then Jinder Mahal came out, and then everyone was like, what do I think now? And Jinder's like, India. Yeah, he's cutting promo in fluent Hindi. Pal, Jinder Mahal cut a fluent shoot promo in Hindi for these fans. Then The Rock came out and got half the arena chanting day one, the other half chanting douchebag, and Rock bottomed him and hit a spine buster and all this. All for what, Kevin?
Oh.
And people think that's going to be for the end of Cody Rhodes' run as a main eventer. These are idiots, Kevin. I will stand on this sword if Paul Levesque proceeds with having The Rock main event Roman Reigns WrestleMania. Cody's off, forgotten about, wrestling against like Randy or Cena in the middle of night 2, and the story's over. If that happens, I'm done with Paul Levesque. With what I've seen so far, Kevin, I have too much faith in Paul. He's not sitting down again and being screwed over by political chess. I'm not buying it again, Kevin. Fool me once, shame on me, pal. Fool me twice, shame on me again. Fool me this time, I'm done. I'm done. So we'll see, pal. This makes the road to WrestleMania pulsating. Will The Rock win the Royal Rumble in your St. Petersburg event, pal? In the second most dangerous city, was it? Third most dangerous city, pal, behind Jacksonville and the Rodents. Will The Rock
behind Jacksonville and Miami, pal?
Will The Rock win the Rumble? Will The Rock win a 45-minute bloodbath in the Elimination Chamber in Australia when he can't hit one spine buster without gasping for breath? How will The Rock get to Roman Reigns? No one on Twitter's answering that. But anyway, Cody's buried, I guess. He's shaking hands to QT Marshall, pal. I don't know.
Wow. Yeah, I thought that, I want to say this too, I thought it was an excellent bit of creative from Paul Levesque and Nick Khan to book Jinder Mahal as the former WWE champion. That was the troll of the century, pal. Like, literally, Jinder Mahal's music hits, and you could literally hear a pen drop. Like, or a pin, I guess that's the phrase. You could hear a pin drop, pal. But
I just love that. And then that like the thing where he's literally got half the ring chanting day one, half the ring chanting douchebag. I thought that was the most creative thing. When have we ever seen that in wrestling specifically, where half the arena is being told and chanting one thing, and it fits perfectly in sync?
Only The Rock can do that.
Jinder Mahal's having a meltdown. He's like, shh, shut up, everyone. And The Rock's like, ha ha. That was just great. Like, it was great entertainment. Pal, I had a legitimate casual view of friends in my real life messaging me. I got out of work at 3:21. Raw had finished 20 minutes ago. I was being spammed by my own friends. OMG, look what happened on Raw. I'm like, what? So I get out of work. I see the Rock's back. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm seeing pictures of Rock versus Roman Elimination Chamber match graphics. I'm like, oh my gosh. But yeah.
Yes.
There you go, pal.
And I'll close with this statement. The Rock is a casual fan draw, as you just witnessed there. I sent that clip to a few of my friends. They're like, oh, The Rock is back. How do I watch that? How do I watch his return? What do I do? When's he wrestling? Who's he wrestling? That's it, pal. That's the money right there. Like, who cares that he can't do a spine buster without nearly dying? He's a draw. People love to see him. It gets people talking about wrestling again. It makes wrestling fun, pal, having The Rock back. So that's it for this extra. And we'll talk to you guys later. Peace.